probably, I don't know, maybe background music is too loud. What the hell? Why is everything so bad today? And then rebuild. Okay, so, alright, what about, what about, I don't know why everything's all messed up. I'm sorry. We usually never have audio problems. Alright. I'll just keep talking, then you guys let me know. But Rebel Soldier Dom in the chat. Leon, so good to see you. Texas Yankee, let's go. Ready up. Let's go, fam. Better? Alright, good. Alright, I'm glad. I'm glad, fam. I'm not glad, however, that is the last few episodes of Andor. Man. Kind of crazy, dude. Like, a lot of people are saying it's the best Star Wars ever. I still have problems with it. Like, I still have issues with Andor. Like, it's not like terrible or anything. I think it's amazing. I think it's literally like one of the best Star Wars projects of all time. But there's just a few things that I'm just like, man, I wish they did this. I wish they did that. You know, especially when I watch it with people that are not Star Wars fans. Like, they are not as, like, gripped to it as we are. You know? Yeah, no, I mean, I still think these last, like, 6 episodes have been great. I really do think that the first 3 episodes were just slow. They're just slow. Like, just how the first season was, you know? The first season was slow. I really do wish that, you know, they could have done, I don't know, they could have made things faster. I feel like it didn't need to be that slow, but, you know, it is what it is, you know? But it's so good. Like, genuinely, like, it is just so freaking good. I'm hoping that we do get some mention about the temples on Yavin being haunted. I would love that so much. Yo, Elaser, so good to see you. Everybody welcome Elaser. Ready up. The soundtrack is amazing. I tell you one thing. This show has done so much for me and my respect towards Mon Mothma. Mon Mothma, to me, even in the expanded universe, everyone will tell you, like, Mon Mothma is there and she's very strong, especially, like, post Return of the Jedi. But I feel like Andor has done so well for her, man. Part of me didn't want today to arrive. I know, Aki. By the way, welcome, fam. Thanks for coming here. Appreciate you. Ready up. Yes, after the last 3 episodes, I too felt like it's over, you know? I keep seeing that it's making money for Disney or something, or Star Wars, and that it's like the viewership is doing better. I saw a couple Reddit posts today too, that it's like the second most watched show right now. So that's good, I guess. But still, also I want to show you guys one of my new shirts that I got today. Pretty sick. I got it. Like it. We good. I like it. It's sick as hell, dude. I like it. I think it's sick as hell. It's awesome. I love this shirt. Yeah, dude, right? Sick. I know, right? So you guys make me feel like I know what I'm doing in terms of shirts. Everything else though, I know, right? Yeah, dude, it's sick, man. Like, this stuff does not happen in Star Wars. All right, I don't care what anybody says. I love The Force Awakens. I love The Force Awakens. I know it's got problems, man, but I love it. All right, but when I saw this, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I could not believe my eyes when I saw blood like that in Star Wars. There's little bits and pieces of blood in Star Wars, but not like that. That was different, you know? The last time I saw blood like that was The Phantom Menace, when Darth Maul gets cut in half and there's like a spray of blood. Like, and I think they even removed that in the later versions. I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and watch it again. But yeah, I remember watching it. I was like, oh, as a kid. Yeah, dude. Yeah, yes, the play. Yes. Yo, what's up, fam? So good to see you. Thank you so much. I don't even know. I don't even know how to say your name. I'm so sorry. Nafast. I hope, I don't even know if I said that right, but I tried. I promise. Everybody welcome with Already Up. David Torres, so good to see you, fam. You need some mole shirts, homie. Dude, there is this one beautiful mole shirt that I wanted to get. I think it was at like Hot Topic or something. And then it sold out. Yeah, I'm pretty bad. I'm watching this Empire Strikes Back spirit jersey that I'm trying to get. It looks really nice. I didn't even know there was a bloody Darth Maul death. Yeah, no, that was in the Phantom Menace. Like it was literally spray. Like it was like a mist when Obi-Wan slashes him in the Phantom Menace. That's what I remember in the movies. I don't know if they changed that or what. But yeah. Yeah, Finn's helmet is sick. What did you think of episode 7 and 9? What did you all think of episode 7 and 9? What would you rate it out of 10? For me, it's a 9. They 100% removed it from later versions. Yeah, it was definitely a spray. Like, I remember, it was definitely a spray of blood when Maul died. He goes, "Ugh!" and then there was a literal spray, dude. An 8? Yeah, I think that's a solid. It's a 9 for me. Like, it's a 9. The only reason why it's not a 10 is just because there is just a lot of parts that I'm just like, why did they? Like, where are the hollow? Where are the hollows? Where are the hollow projectors, man? Like, it's all screens and iPads and stuff like that, you know? And it's really frustrating. It's minute. It's such a minor nitpick. Like, it is. It is such a minor nitpick for me. But I'm just like, man, like, did we do away with these hollow, like, projectors? Oh, man, dude. I was excited over the Force healing. Oh, my God. That's right, yeah. Okay, so, guys, I just want to let you know, I'm also a part of another podcast called the Starlight Podcast. I don't know if you guys have TikTok, but Jedi Connor's on there. He's got like 200, 300,000 followers or something on TikTok. Really cool guy. He's one of his boys on there, Daddy Sheev. We're all homies right now, and we talk about the show like right after it, like the next day, usually Wednesday or Thursday. And I thought that when I saw the Force Healer, that it was the most mystical and magical the Force has felt in such a long time. The last time I had felt like the Force was so mystic and awesome and mysterious, enigmatic, was definitely when Grogu had lifted the Mudhorn. There's brief dialogue between Queel and the Mandalorian where Queel is like, "Can you please explain it to me again, what you saw?" And Mando is just like, "Dude, I don't understand either," you know? And like, that was really cool. Like, I don't think a lot of people really understand how incredibly large the Star Wars universe is. And even though during the Clone Wars there were Jedi, thousands of Jedi, like, people still never saw a Jedi, you know? And so I really liked that whole Force healer thing. And she's not even a Jedi, bro. Like, she's not even a Jedi. I also loved how much that they pretty much proclaimed that Cassian was Force sensitive. Not into the degree that he's lifting rocks and he's going to be a Jedi. But it brings back to, like, how everybody in the galaxy is connected to the Force. And everybody, to a certain degree, is Force sensitive. But Cassian is right there. Chirrut Inu, like, there's, like, these people that are, like, so minutely Force sensitive that maybe it is luck to other people, or skill, like Han Solo piloting, you know, like, oh man, that's like old school lore type of stuff for Star Wars. That was amazing. That was so well done. I just really wish the show had an Inquisitor or something, man. Like, I really would love to have seen lightsabers be used. We only have 3 episodes, so who knows? Maybe something like that will happen, but outside of that, it's just like real nitpicky stuff. Mon Mothma's speech was amazing, bro. I have so much respect for that character now, man. I just saw her as like the one that was like, the Death Star and the Bothans and yada yada yada, and now it's just like she's like a real character for me. Like, and it was because she called out Emperor Palpatine like that. That was insane. Like, in my head, you know, we're all lore people to a degree, right? Everybody, Leon, Sarah, Texas, everybody. Like, and so when she calls out Emperor Palpatine, I'm literally like, oh my god, this bitch gonna die. She's gonna get force choked from across the galaxy like Count Dooku. Like, that is insane. Mon Mothma was going for everyone's throat, bro. She stood on business, man. That was crazy. That was insane. Throwing shots like that. Sarah says, ironically, I feel the most blood we've seen is old Ben cutting that guy's arm off. Yes. Yes. Just about, honestly, yes. Yes. All 3 episodes was a 10 for me, says Texas. Yeah, I mean, I feel it. I don't think you guys are wrong. You know, I just have my certain nitpicks, and it's in the high 8s and low 9s for me, for sure. David Torres says, question, why can't Lord Sidious just get Mon and Senator Organa in a room and Jedi mind trick them and have them do whatever he wants? Problem solved. Because Palpatine at this stage is so cocky. He's just so cocky, bro. Like, you at Return of the Jedi, like, this guy is so powerful that on a Richter scale of George Lucas's power scales, which mean nothing at the end of the day, but to me as a fan, it means a lot, because this guy is on a scale of going to 9 to an 11 if he turns Luke Skywalker to the dark side. He is so invested into the dark side of the Force that he just feels like he's omnipotent, you know? And then in A New Hope, one of the first thing Grand Moff Tarkin says when he walks in the scene that Darth Vader is in, he says, all right, well, don't worry about the Sedan anymore because the Emperor literally just dissolved them. They're gone. So, after all this, after this speech, the Sedan is no more. He kind of just lets people like Bail and Mothma roam around because it gives everybody else the illusion that the Empire has it out for everybody. You know, like, it's the best chance of survival. But there's so many things that he's doing that he is actually busy. And he doesn't really need to execute them or kill them because there are people like the ISB that take care of that. And they're also like regular citizens that are so Empire pro that they will kill Mothma herself. And that actually happens in a lot of the books where, like, people are trying to kill her. She's got people going into her home and her apartment, bugging the whole entire house that she's in, bugging her office like you saw in Andor. That's not the first time that happened. You know, so there's this other group, too, that's a radical group. I think they're called the 44s. And they all, like, try to find out Mothma and everything else because she's talking to former separatists to get them to sign this Declaration of 2000, you know, and it's basically just like people trying to reform the Empire and make it more Republic-like. You know, it's stuff like that. It's all politics. But Mothma and Bail are not sleeping really well every night. They have death threats. They almost die all the time. Palpatine does not need to trouble himself over them because it's just an illusion. The Senate does nothing, you know. I think that's why Mothma ultimately just left at the end of the day. It's time to do the rebellion because nothing else is working. I think it's Vision Season 3, but not too sure. Oh yes, Vision Season 3 is coming up next, October 29th. Be ready for that. Did the Empire know about Yavin? No, the Empire did not know about Yavin until about Rogue One. You know, once they figured it out, that's what A New Hope is for. So, Yavin's really interesting, man. Yavin's such a fun, beautiful planet. I love that, man. Anybody read the Tales of the Jedi comics? I love it. Aki says, what do you think about Tony Gilroy hijacking the canon? I personally welcome changes like that if they've improved things, but I'd like to hear everyone's opinions. Alright, you guys know me. You guys know me. I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here in books all around me. Alright? I'm a lore enthusiast. I'm not a lore master. I would like to be one day, but I'm more of an enthusiast. I know a lot of shit, but I don't know everything. And I can tell you right now, Tony Gilroy can do what he wants because the majority of Star Wars fans only watch the movies and live action. They do not watch animation, and they sure as shit do not read. So it's one of those things that there are so many things that I love about Star Wars lore. You guys know who I am. You guys know what I represent. You guys know I'm not like the positive side or the fandom or the negative side. I'm just my side, right? And I can tell you right now that there are a lot of issues in inconsistencies in lore, especially in Legends and new canon. And if Tony Gilroy, with the level of quality that he's working with, wants to rewrite a why to a character or an origin story, that's fine. That's fine. If it makes sense, that's fine. But going forward, my problem is buying books, buying comics, video games, and then you're telling me that this is the lore that it's going to be and it's valuable, only for it to get retconned 6 or 7 years later in a live-action film, that's a problem. So, as long as they don't do it so much, I don't have a problem with it. Especially if it's an upgrade. So, that's kind of where I stand. As long as it's an upgrade, I don't mind. Harith, good to see you, fam. It says, I don't see it as hijacking the canon. He is creatively working within the sandbox and is taking feedback for keeping with him. Yeah, definitely. I think there's, like, just a few like K2SO and Cassian's uniting stuff. Like, that's not, like, lore-breaking stuff for me. It doesn't really mean stuff, But if he's gonna, like, change the color of the Death Star laser, I was like, oh, okay, why are we doing red now and it was green or orange? Like, that's pretty different. Or there's a brand new planet that the Death Star has destroyed before Jedha and Scarif. All right, that's kind of crazy. All right. What are we doing here, Elazer says, BS, you're a master. You're great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, man. I try to be as modest as possible and as humble, but there's definitely people above me. They're definitely smarter. They may be cool and cuter and whatever, but they're not me, and I understand that, But I never like to put myself above anybody, because I don't think that's okay. Leanne says, yeah, that's the main problem people had with the sequel trilogy books. Both Legends and canon, and no one's going to tell you this. Like, everyone that's always talking about Disney's bad and, the sequel trilogy's bad, like, have you read The Dark Empire? Like, have you legitimately read, like, the Dark Empire books about Luke Skywalker turning to the dark side and serving the Emperor, and then trying to kill Han Solo, and then allowing Princess Leia to be shocked nearly to death because Luke thinks that this is a part of his transformation to understand the dark side? Like, there's some crazy ish that he does. I think he almost breaks Han's, like, leg or something, yeah, I have to go back and read it, but I remember reading that and I was like, wow, this is kind of worse than The Last Jedi. But I like the Dark Empire for what it does, especially how powerful Sidious is, which people kind of look over compared to the Old Republic Sith Lords. But there's inconsistencies in Star Wars everywhere, man, and that just happens when George Lucas is not writing everything. And I love Dave Filoni. I love Dave Filoni so much. I love Jon Favreau. And I think Tony Gilroy belongs here. And even though he does not want to write Star Wars anymore, if I'm Lucasfilm, I'm literally locking up that guy in a room. And I'm paying for everything for the rest of his life. Because, like, imagine if we had Andor, but for the Old Republic. Imagine if we had Andor, but for the sequel trilogy. Like, there's such a huge opportunity here, in my opinion, where you can now allow Star Wars to be whatever it wants if you just keep people like this together. And that's the problem with modern Star Wars, is that everybody's cooking these days. Actually, that's not true. Everybody's in the kitchen using ingredients, but they are not cooking, Dave Filoni can cook. Jon Favreau can cook. A couple of the people that direct the Mandalorian episodes, they can cook. But Tony Gilroy, in my opinion, is on another level, and it's because of writing. And so is his brother, too. So I just don't know how I would allow them to walk away from this. Tales of the Underworld was pretty good. I love it, man. I love it. I know I understand a lot of people hate Dave Filoni now, but I think that's kind of ridiculous. He's got flaws, but come on. I think that's kind of ridiculous how much hate I see on that guy recently. The K2SO stuff you can use in Star Wars explanation of its Rebels to cover story, and Cassian found it too. Yeah, I just don't really care too much about it. Harris says Mon Mothma's speech being different is decorated footage from the bad information. Yes, but I love what they did. I like, because you have Rebels and Andor, and now both fans can get that. And if you're someone that likes to delve into both the live action and the animation, you know why they did it. They want to write their own story. It's their version of propaganda. I think it's really cool. I think there's so many ways that you can interpret the lore without it being a complete retcon or inconsistencies. It's great. Let's see. Dave Torres says, "Do you think Dave is jealous of Tony Gilroy on showing everyone what a real Star Wars show is supposed to look like?" Sheesh! I think he'd be upset reading that comment. God damn! God. No, I think you have to understand is like, to me, I think Dave Filoni is very excited for the opportunity to not have everything on his shoulders. And it's not that he's not capable, because again, one thing I have to say this real quick. One thing I can't stand is like how much people love Andor to the point where they're shitting on everything else. That elitism is so disgusting, and I think it's just as unattractive as the negative side of the fandom. It's very toxic. Like, do we all of a sudden hate Clone Wars? Do we all of a sudden hate Rebels? You know, do we all of a sudden hate the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian? It makes no sense to me that all of a sudden how quickly the fandom turns on people. This is the same fandom that turned on George Lucas to sell Star Wars during the prequel trilogy, so I guess it makes sense. But I think Dave Filoni looks at Andor and he's like, wow, that's amazing. Let me see what I can learn from this. You know? I mean, he's up there. I mean, he's one of the only people that really knows Star Wars. Can he write? You know, can he do these things? Yeah, I'm sure that's debatable, and there's a lot of video essays people write about that stuff, but I think he's very solid, and I think him learning under whether it's Rian Johnson or Tony Gilroy is just another opportunity for him to evolve. I cannot see why he would be upset or frustrated or jealous. Harris says 100% like, why are we putting Filoni against Gilroy? Yeah, it makes sense. To me, it's like the whole Batman versus Superman thing. They're not going to fight. They're going to team up. You know, no matter how much they may not like each other, there is a vision. Leon says, I desperately need him to give us the full story of the Knights of Ren. Bro, speaking, man. Speaking. They just preaching, bro. I don't know, Leon. You should probably make your own account and start saying this stuff, bro. You might get a lot of people listening to you. The Knights of Ren could have been... Yeah, no, trust me, man. I'm all over it. Rebel Dom says, Dave, Tony, and John are all peaks, so I'm happy we have them. Exactly, Dom. Like... I need Dave in animation. You think Tony Gilroy is going to care about animation? No. Dude, animation is so near to perfect. It's so near to perfection. Because it's the medium. Like, it is so close to bringing in both types of fans. The hardcore and the casual. The only thing that animation needs to fix is to stop look like VeggieTales. If Star Wars animation stops looking like awesome VeggieTales, then we're going to get somewhere. If they can find a way to keep evolving it like they have with the Tales series, Tales of the Underworld, you know, they'll keep doing it. Like, that. I'm telling you, man. I'm serious. I'm serious. Clone Wars was really bad. Rebels was also not great in terms of aesthetic, okay? But the Tales series is looking like it's going somewhere. Like, there is a vision and an end game. And I keep hearing about what Maul Shadow Lord is supposed to look like, and I'm hoping that maybe Star Wars can finally find its identity in what it's supposed to look like. You know? I hope that we get there, because I think animation is so close. You know? Red Silver Dawn says, have you read the Kylo Ren comics? Hell yeah. We've done streams, too, and we've gone over them. I'm reading Legacy of Vader right now, too. So, when Andor is over, we'll go over that every Tuesday when I can, for sure. I think Dave's future is animated shows. I think, all right, this is a hot take, David Torres, but I think Dave Filoni needs to be involved on everything. I think Dave Filoni needs to be involved on everything. You cannot have a cohesive universe without people that have been here since George to help write. Like, I'm telling you right now, I'm not saying Dave Filoni needs to hijack everything and write Ahsoka and put Ahsoka here. And no, I'm not saying that, okay? I'm saying that he needs to be involved. He needs to be involved. If someone is writing about Anakin Skywalker or the Force, Dave should put his opinion. It shouldn't influence, but he should be like, you know, this is how we should execute it. These are the rules. That's the role that Dave should have going forward. You know? Every movie, everything. I don't care who the director is and who the writer is. You think George would allow this? You know, like, you think, like, George is there. You know, if George was here today, what he would do and how he would overlook things, I think Dave and John should be doing that too. But if Tony Gilroy wants to get a piece of this, then he can too. You know? Personally, I just feel like Tony Gilroy should be writing everything live action to a point, to an extent, especially when it comes to like these very important movies, you know, especially with Rey, because I'm so sick of the fandom hating her. You know, I'm annoyed that that character is attached to all the bad things in the fandom, you know, and I don't think it's her fault at all. What's your favorite rank of animated? Favorite to least? Okay, so if we're doing like animated, it's probably the Star Wars The Old Republic trailer. Like that, like nothing will ever touch that for me. Like the Star Wars The Old Republic trailers are just amazing. Like I would watch that when I was homeless. I would watch that when I'm working out. Bro, I'm watching that, you know. Then it's the 2000 Clone Wars animated series. That was the Powerpuff Girls / Samurai Jack style. Those are amazing. And then it's a tie between Bad Batch, Clone Wars, and Rebels, because I like them all equally. I think there are episodes that I would like to skip. Clone Wars is really slow and not fun in the first 2 seasons. I think there are a lot of episodes that were very hard to watch. But Rebels is slow too, but the highs for that show are just awesome. Really good. And I love Bad Batch. Bad Batch is really fun. Harry says, isn't that the job of the story group to oversee everything and make sure that it's in line with canon? That's why we have Matt Martins and Pablo Hidalgos. Yes, but as incredible as those people are, they are not Tony Gilroy and Dave Filoni. You know, there's a certain amount of input. It's a difference between like someone like me walking into a room and saying, hey, we shouldn't do this because this happens and this happens and this happens, right? But then if you have George fucking Lucas walk in and say, no, we can't do that, there's a huge difference of weight being thrown around. Do you understand? That's why. Because if you're going to bring on someone like J.J. Abrams or Rian Johnson, and they're going to put their story in, you know, I think you need people that have actually been around the story so it doesn't completely derail and ruin what came before. You know, that is my issue. It's not that Story Group is bad. Story Group is amazing for video games, comics, and books, and animation, and yeah, some points of live action, because Jesus Christ, I would really love Pablo Hidalgo and Matt Martin to be more involved in Andor, because there's things that I know that they probably said we should probably do this, but because of how incredible, I guess, Andor Season 1, no notes, which it's Star Wars, there should always be notes. But that's just my opinion. That is just my opinion. That is just my opinion. And that's why I'm streaming to 7 people, because I don't have that job. So, you know, but that's how I feel. It is no other franchise in the history of entertainment. Every other franchise has got books and comics that came before the movies and that they've all used. Star Wars is the only one that started out in just movies, and then the expanded universe came later. You know, so these things matter more when these decisions are made, because you can't just reboot and recast. The story is only going forward and backwards, and you cannot erase that shit. So there's less room for you to mess up on. And that's why I think it's so vital that these people are always involved. You know? Hello there! So good to see you. Everybody welcome Hello There with a ready up. Yes. Wanted to know more about him. Yes, indeed. We need Smilo Ren. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. But I tell you guys, listen, if you want to see more of the Stranger and Smilo Ren, you buy his stuff. You buy his helmet, you buy his action figure, and Disney's gonna know that this guy's selling stuff, and then they will make a show. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, man. I already got his helmet. It's coming out August. I bought it last year. I'm literally working out every day so I can put on the Smilo Ren. All right? So that's how it works, dude. We gotta do it. Manny Jacinto being invited to Star Wars Celebration is definitely interesting. He's the only person that was invited back. And I think that speaks volumes. And I do want to say this too. I feel very sad for him because you can see how conflicted he is when he's taking those interviews. A part of him wants to celebrate, and a part of him is also just doesn't know how to deal with it because he was really attached to the rest of his crew. And I think a lot of those people on that crew were very talented and were just a part of the wrong project, you know? And it's sad to see because even though how much I dislike a lot of what came from that show, I still think it has unlimited potential. Just, man, if someone out there from Lucasfilm is listening, let me help. Let me help. Please. Just, I can help. That's my stupid arrogance. I probably can't, but... yeah, dude. Totally agree. Says hello there. 7 and 9 was phenomenal and insane. Are you talking about Andor? Oh, yes. 7 and 9. So, yeah, guys, you guys rated it right now, right? A lot of you said 8. I think 8 was, like, pretty serious. All right. Since we're about 30 minutes away and I need some water because I won't shut up, what do you guys think is going to happen in these last 3 episodes? Go. I want to see what you guys say, and then I will say. Sorry, I drink a lot of water, all right? I drink a ton of water. All right. So, here's the thing. I think Clea's gonna die. I think Luthen is gonna die. Who else is out there? I think Val is gonna die because we don't see them. And the big thing, I think Bix is pregnant. I was actually talking about that 2 weeks ago, and then when she left him, I was like, no, she's definitely pregnant. She has to be. Because it's one thing if she says, I'll see you, that's it, we're done. But she says, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you. And so I feel like that is like a huge, I'm pregnant. But then if that's the case, if that's the case, I'm so annoyed at Rogue One. Like, don't get me wrong, there was nothing wrong with Jyn Erso. There was nothing wrong with Jyn Erso. But you telling me, boy, that you fell for this Jyn Erso when you were with Bix for so long? Huh? You just felt like that? I don't know, that makes no sense to me. That's probably writing stuff. That is crazy. That's crazy. You know, if she is pregnant, that will be so sad. That is what I was feeling. That is what I was feeling. You know? Because the moment she walked away, I was on my couch alone. Oh my god, your boy ordered some freaking ice cream and I was done. I was done. I was so done, dude. I was so done. Yeah, but Bix bounced in Jyn Erso is final. But Bix didn't. But see, that's what Bix didn't. Bix knew that Cassian was so important to the rebellion, which he is. He is. All right? He helped steal the Death Star plans. She didn't leave him, man. She didn't say, like, I'm out. Deuces, you know? Nah, dude. She was like, yo, hey, you know, you got work. This is a really big career thing, and I can't allow myself to have you choose me over it. So you're doing this job, and when you're done, I'm gonna find you, Poppy. So that's how I felt, dude. I was like, oh no. And then I'm instantly thinking that she's gone. And then I just realized that this motherfucker blows up on Scarif holding Jyn Erso. I was like, are you kidding me? Bix is probably sitting there waiting on some freaking beach somewhere else. Not only did Cassian die, he also was with another woman. I'm sick to my stomach. We all did emotional eating that show. I know, bro, and it's not even the finale, bro. I'm getting so sweaty. I'm getting so nervous. I feel like I'm the one fighting for my life out here. That's why Bix left, because she knows that Cassian wants to be with her, but Bix wants to keep on fighting, not Cassian. Exactly. But I think also, but yeah, that's nasty work. No, I don't want to think that. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. How could you do that? Your Bix is right there, bro. She's right there. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you kissing Jin? What are you doing? That's what I'm talking about, man. Hello there, says. Wonder if Luthen has a last stand. Luthen's dying. Luthen's dying. You know what? Alright, I'm not gonna lie, though. You know what I would love? You know what I would love? Well, you know us Latinos out there. See, I'm Puerto Rican and Cuban, so I understand. So I know, dude. I know. I know, dude. You know, I know. So I think it's funny. So, yeah, if we see Saw is getting blown up, for sure. He's losing his limbs. Absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what I really want? I was talking about this a while, and I was talking about this last year, and I was like, you know, Luthen is so radical. I would have loved for him to be a Jedi. And he lost connection to the Force because of everything that happened. And he radicalized himself because of how the Jedi there. You imagine if this dude was like best friends of like Mace Windu, and then finds Mace Windu's dead body on Coruscant, and that's the thing that makes Luthen just lose it. You know what's crazy is I cannot tell you how often I read Revenge of the Sith novelization. Anakin Skywalker is my favorite character. I am the most realistic Anakin Skywalker stan in all of Star Wars. I love him. And I will die on a hill about how the Jedi had made who he was even worse. But I also acknowledge that he effed up and made his choices, which is very hard to find against within other Anakin Skywalker stans. But one thing that this book goes crazy hard that no one ever talks about is when they have to go arrest Palpatine. And Kit Fisto is like, I really wish Yoda was here. And like Kit Fisto keeps asking, is like, hey, yeah, we're gonna go get this Sith Lord guy, right? But like, is Yoda coming? is Yoda there? And then the other guys is C-10, and they're all like, what about the Chosen One? Is Anakin coming? Why aren't, like, he's the Chosen One? Why is he coming? And then the other guys are like, oh, don't worry, we have Mace Windu. And so like it settles them down a little bit. And then oh my gosh, he says, what about Yoda? He's still asking for Yoda, but then they keep asking for Anakin as well. And it's so sad, you know, and it just makes me always what if. And yeah, I just think about Luthen. I just think about what if Luthen was like a part of this, kind of like Bail Organa, where he was like involved with the Jedi and then saw what happened, and then maybe that just made him go crazy, you know, and radicalized everything. Like, I love the idea of radicalized Jedi, especially like Telem Malicos from Jedi Fallen Order. You know, like that, like I love that idea where the Jedi are just like, F it, we lost because we didn't do enough. You know, God, that's so sick. Yeah, but that's the fun part of Star Wars is like people don't like theory stuff, and I'm not talking about a person. I'm talking about the idea of theory and making things up, right? Like, but theorizing Star Wars stuff is so fun when you're with the right people, you know? And on the eve of a finale, when everything is about to be revealed, it's really fun, you know? Yeah, Taron Malicos is cool. Yes, he's cool as hell, man. Hayden Christensen said he is Anakin. He knows Anakin more than ever going into Ahsoka Season 2. Good. He should be, like, Anakin Skywalker is the Superman of Star Wars, in my opinion, and he needs to be involved no matter what. He needs to oversee everything. I don't care if it's 1,000 years into the future. Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost needs to be there, because I'm not going to deal with the amount of lack of acknowledgement that he got in the sequel trilogy, which I thought was very sad for me. I understand, but I do not agree how often he was ignored, you know. But that's just me. Who do you hope we see tonight? I'm expecting Palpatine. If we do not see Palpatine, it's a miss. Like, it's just a miss, man. Like, I cannot give this series a 10 if I do not see Palpatine. This story is so political. Why not involve the most political character in Star Wars, which is Palpatine? We are in this situation because of Palpatine. I really wanted Mon Mothma to see and look at Palpatine in his eyes. That alone would have given me a 10 out of 10. Like, female character in this era, talking shit like this, and the monster that's coming for us all is Emperor Palpatine. Like, hello? Why did we not do that? Like, it could have been just 2 seconds of Palpatine sitting there like, oh shit, you know? How dare this woman, you know? Like, does she know I'm a Sith Lord? You know? Like, I don't know how you don't do that! How do you not do that? I got the vein coming out of my head. Damn, dude. That's what I want, you know? Even if it's something as subtle as, like, Vader, the rebels are hiding on Yavin. Eliminate them. Yeah, see? Okay, great. That's it. 10 out of 10. Best Star Wars TV that I've seen since Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian. So, yeah. Damn it, man. I just need it. I need it. That's what I need, man. That's what I need. Or an Inquisitor. You know what? You know, dude, that would be really cool. Like, what if this whole entire arc is an Inquisitor finding Yavin and then just oh my. Nah, see, I can't say this stuff out loud, bro, because then I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be worse than other Star Wars people. So, because my imagination is running, dude. That would be cool as hell. You know? Papa Palpy would have force choked her and used his ultimate power. No, he wouldn't. He would not. He would not have. He would, because he is so... Palpatine will do things like that, but Palpatine will not use his powers in front of the public. There are cameras, there are so many things, and in the Revenge of the Sith novelization, he has to do so many things when they are fighting him to make it look like the Jedi are murdering him, and that's only because the cameras are not on. So, he's very witty about the way that he does things, but in public like that, with all of the cameras rolling and everybody there, Mothma is very safe from Palpatine. Very safe. That would be very risky for him to expose himself as a Sith Lord. That would be the downfall. That would be an open revolt right there. That would be Palpatine's worst nightmare, is having, like, civil war beyond belief there. That would probably make the most powerful rebellion, because everybody would see that and they would realize, oh my god, this guy's been lying the whole time. You know, that would not be good for Palpatine. Yeah. Yeah, he cannot blow his cover. Which, there is actually a really good book. Somewhere, I don't know where the hell it is. I think it's down on the bottom. No? Yes? Anyway, it's Lords of the Sith. I thought I had it. Could have sworn I had it. Yeah, it's a new canon book. It actually goes really well into, like, Palpatine and how he views himself towards other people, and the only people that he uses his skills in front of, his Force-sensitive skills, is the Royal Guard. Because the Royal Guard are the only people that keep those secrets. So when there's, like, regular stormtroopers, he does not do stuff. And if he does stuff in front of them, it's because he's killing them. So, yeah, read that book. It's pretty amazing. It's Vader and Palpatine basically, like, getting attacked, and they have to help each other to survive. Really good book on how their mentality is, especially on Palpatine and how he does things. Really crazy. What If Star Wars would be awesome. I think What If Star Wars is cool. but I don't like it feeding into the multiverse, you know? Yeah, I like Star Wars Visions. Star Wars Vision, especially seasons 1 and 3 is going to come out, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be better than 1 because it's the same anime people that made it. So, Visions works because Visions is not canon and not canon. You know, it can be whatever it needs to be. That's why I like Visions. But What If is just like, it's so groundbreaking that it's basically another universe. So, I don't know, man. I'm not a Marvel fan like that. So, I don't know. I could be a hater. You know, don't listen to me. Like what you like. So how come he can get away with using Vader and Inquisitors, though? Who knows about them? Vader is only one person. The government does not know about Inquisitors. Not like that. You know, that's all people and things and employees in the Empire. They're not going around waving to people and saying like, hey, well, this is the Honorary Inquisitor Day. Look at these Force sensitives that steal children and kill people that were also previous Jedi, but yeah, they work for us. That's not happening. Most of the stuff that we know is not like public, you know. The public usually sees stormtroopers and ISB, and that's about it. All that stuff is very hush-hush. Elazer says, what if Star Wars would create more divisions? Yeah, and that's exactly what I worry about. Guys, you are 10 minutes away from the watch party. I'm not going to be able to watch it because of meetings. And also, I am also looking for another job right now, so it's been extremely stressful in the past couple weeks. But the podcasts are still going out, and the shorts are still happening. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So check those out, please, man. We've been getting a lot of good views. But yeah, I don't know. I would really love to see an Inquisitor. That would be really cool. I would love that. That would be awesome. No, I wanted to watch tonight with the fam. I know, man. I know. It just, you know what's crazy is every single time Andor comes around. Wait a minute, hang on. Oh my gosh, yes. Andor? Okay, so this is weird. I just realized this. Last time Andor came around, I couldn't finish the reactions because there was a hurricane and I got laid off. And something terrible happened to me as well. And this time, I have to look for another job because of a certain situation like that. I didn't get laid off. It's just the industry that I work in is very, very rough. And if there's no projects, then, you know, the people can't work. So I have to look for another job. But they're still going to work with me when they get a new project. But it's really weird. It's like you have a job, but you don't, you know? Yeah, so that's like frustrating to deal with. But every single time that has happened, which is only like 2 or 3 times in my life, Andor is relevant. It happened when the first season of Andor came out, and now the second season of Andor is here, and it's happened again. So that's really weird, you know. But hey, man, if you guys want the best Star Wars ever, I will make sure that I will find a way to make these situations happen again. Since it seems like Andor only happens when that's going on, when everyone's getting the best Star Wars. So, yeah, man, crazy, really weird. I don't know why that's happened, but yeah, I remember the hurricane too. The hurricane like flooded everything. I was like, and I live in Florida, so I was like out in Gatorville with up to like waist high water, trying to stop the house from being flooded in, and I succeeded, which was really crazy. But yeah, crazy, wild stuff. Andor. I hope you guys enjoy it, man. I hope you guys enjoy it. Like, I really do. Is there anyone that's like not enjoying Andor in here? Like, is it anyone like saying that's just like, whatever? Rogue One watch party in the future? Hell yeah, man. Absolutely, yeah. I'm still gonna stream every Tuesday. We're still doing comics. We're gonna continue to read Dawn of the Jedi and go with that. Tales of the Jedi, or sorry, not Tales of the Jedi. Legacy of Vader. There's gonna be a lot of stuff coming out, guys. There's a whole year of Star Wars, and also there's a Star Wars book being released on my birthday by Charles Soule, and he's a very good writer. So yeah, lots of stuff. Pretty good. I'm excited, man. Pretty good. Have you guys been listening to the podcast at all? It's been it hasn't really. It's just been Easter eggs because of Andor. But there's been like 30 or 40 people listening to it, like consistently. It's like really interesting. The other ones do really good when I'm actually talking about a certain specific topic. But yeah, man, it's been fun, dude. I can't believe that people actually want to listen to me. That's still really interesting, especially like on YouTube, man, where I was talking so much about all these things, man. Really cool. But I hope you guys enjoy those things. You know, podcast is great, man. Thank you so much. Hello there. I really appreciate it. Yeah. It should be getting back into lore. After Andor, I think I'm going to take like a week break, and then I'll get back into it the next. What happened to the one Sunday? Why'd you set it to private? Oh, okay. So thank you, Leon. So basically what happens is the podcast is on Spotify and anywhere that you can hear podcasts. So, and like literally any place that you can hear podcasts, it's on that platform. But YouTube has the auto fresh where it sends it to YouTube, and every time it sends to YouTube, for some reason, the views on my actual shorts are not sent to anybody. So I have to private it every time my podcast comes out, and if I don't, it affects all my other videos. So my podcast may get like 1,000 views, but then I won't get any subscribers, and the shorts that I do for like the next week will not be sent to anybody, not even my subscribers. It's really weird. I don't know why that happens, but that happens, and that's why I have to set it to private. So so you can't even listen to the podcast on YouTube. You have to go to like Spotify or Apple Podcast or Google Podcast or Droid Pod, whatever the hell the other podcast place are that there is. So yeah, really annoying and frustrating. But yeah, that's the answer. That's why. That's the reason. 5 minutes away from Andor, man. This is it, baby. Hold me. This is it.
Have you come with questions?
Dude, Leon, it is just an algorithm thing, man. This year has been so weird with YouTube. Last year, I literally gained 6,000 subscribers. I doubled the growth of my channel. This year has been so weird because YouTube's been doing this advertisement thing because they want their highest channels to make them more money. And because that is happening, stuff like that happens with the podcast, where it's just like, okay, so you uploaded this podcast and it's getting a lot of views. Well, now your other stuff isn't getting views. So yeah, it's just really weird, man. It's just a lot of really weird stuff, you know. If I put an exclamation point on a title, then this happens. If I put a question mark on a title, this happens. If I put a hashtag in a description or a comment, this happens. It's really weird, man. It's like a scale and math. That's the algorithm, you know. Just the way YouTube handles their site nowadays is just weird. Dude, the weirdest thing for me is searching. Searching these days is so silly. Bison says, hi, question, only 4 minutes now to wait? Yep, 4 minutes. 4 minutes. It's coming out. So get ready, get your Disney Plus or wherever you watch it, fam. It's coming out. I hope you enjoy it, fam. I hope you guys enjoy it. Are you guys ready? Yo, press 1 in the chat if you guys are ready. And then I will let you go, man. 3 a.m. here in Netherlands. Oh my gosh. All right. You are a freaking trooper. I used to do that. Hell yeah. Let's go. But I'm going to head off, guys. I have to get ready for my freaking meeting and stuff. I'm not ready, but I hope Deborah bites it. Yeah, we'll see. I actually think Dedra's going to kill Clea. Or they're both going to kill each other. So we'll see. I hate the late shift. It was free at 12. Oh, man. I'm so sorry. But hey, y'all. Hope you guys enjoy this, all right? I will, you know, you got join the Discord. We can all talk. And then check out the Starlight podcast, because I'm on with those guys. Jedi Connor on TikTok and everybody on there. So please go check it, please. It's really fun, and we'll talk about those things. And then, of course, the podcast. And make sure you watch the videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the shorts on the YouTube channel, okay? I'll see you around, man. I hope you guys enjoy this for reals, all right? but you all know. Visited by Mirror J, Luke Skywalker, and Kyle Katarn, and show me the Force sensitive like yourself. I'm Lord Dagovere and I, and I'll see you around. Deuces.